Hi, this is Eric Zelna, and I want to tell you a little bit more about the wireless home alarm system that I built for HCDE 539 Physical Computing and Prototyping. So I mentioned the master control node on the left, and I want to tell you how that was constructed. So it's built out of actually two Arduino boards. There's a FreeDuino Uno in here and an ESPDuino. So the FreeDuino Uno handles the wireless communication over the 2.4 gigahertz mesh network, which is handled by the NRF24L01 radio, and it's also got a little voltage regulator on there so that I can put a 5-volt input into it, and it'll receive a stable 3.3 volts. And the FreeDuino Uno also handles the output to the piezo buzzer, the output to the LEDs, inputs from these two override buttons, which are really just for troubleshooting. They arm and disarm the alarm. And also output to the LCD screen where you can see the alarm status being output. The ESPDuino, on the other hand, handles the Wi-Fi connection to my local Wi-Fi network, and it also sends alerts to IFTT, which then sends an email to me that there has been an intruder. The ESPDuino and the FreeDuino Uno are communicating over a software serial connection, and that is because I could not get the ESPDuino to support the NRF24L01 radios. Otherwise, I would have built the entire circuit on the ESPDuino. So in hindsight, it probably would have been better to use like an ESP-01 to add the wireless functionality to the existing board, but I was working with the hardware that I had on hand. Next, we have the access control node, which of course has the 4x4 membrane keypad for entering the password and the 20x4 LCD for putting output. This one is actually constructed without a breadboard. All these pins go directly into the Arduino Mega, and I used an Arduino Mega here both because the sketch I wrote took up more memory than the regular Arduino could handle, and also because when I went to add the keypad I kind of ran out of pins. The keypad uses, I think it's 8 pins in a row, and it's very nice that you can plug that directly into the Arduino Mega. The Mega also gives you enough pins to not have to worry about putting the LCD on there, the keypad on there, and the radio on there, and then you still have a ton of pins left over. And then this box here is actually just constructed out of a pencil case. So I just cut a hole in it and everything fits nicely in there. Last we have the motion sensor node, which is built out of a Arduino Nano. Let's get that to focus. And the Arduino Nano is actually installed on a socket, which is soldered onto a solderable breadboard. And then I have a bunch of point-to-point connections on the back that I just made with a bunch of hookup wire. And then we see the same 2.4 gigahertz radio and PIR motion sensor are also installed on sockets on that board. Now the case is actually laser cut acrylic, which I made at the CoMotion Makerspace at the University of Washington, so I have to give a thank you to them for both letting me use their laser cutter and showing me how it works, because of course that case ended up much nicer than my pencil box with a hole cut in it, or my tub of loose parts with a breadboard. And that is what makes up my wireless home alarm system. Thank you very much.